Hey guys, hope you and the families are doing well. In this short video, I'm going to teach you one of my favorite breakout setups on the long side, which is the 5-minute opening range breakout. Now, I love trading 5-minute opening range breakouts on leading stocks, especially when they display intraday relative strength versus the applicable major index. So to do this and to help explain the setup, both from a trade identification standpoint, but also from a trade management standpoint, we're going to go through my recent trade in Tempus AI from the 11th of September, 2025, overlaid versus the triple Q, so I can teach you exactly what I look for when trading these 5-minute opening range breakouts. Market Surge are today's video sponsor. They're my go-to resource for analyzing company fundamentals. If you're interested in a discounted Market Surge trial, then you'll find a link to that in the description and the comment section below. So let's do a high-level overview, then we'll start getting into the weeds. We have clearly 4 charts. We have the daily chart for Tempus AI, we have the daily chart for the triple Q, so that's going to be our appropriate major index to be confirming the strength or looking and comparing the strength of Tempus AI against, and then we have the 5-minute charts for Tempus and the triple Q. So a 5-minute opening range breakout, obviously 5-minute opening range breakout as the name implies. So my entry is there at 81.65 and my initial stop loss is lower the day by a cent, which is at 79.40. And don't worry, I'm going to take you through it. What are these moving average, what is this MACD, and all of these things, okay? But that's just a high level overview so you can see the entry price, initial stop loss placement on the 5-minute chart and how that correlates to the daily chart over here and the levels. Nice volume coming through as well, okay? Let's actually just start off on the daily chart. So with leading stocks, okay, leading stocks, I like looking for TML, so that's your O'Neill, true market leaders, big earnings, big sales, relatively new IPOs, maybe in the last 5 to 10 years or so, interesting technology, new innovative area, a lot of growth ahead of it. So think AI related stocks, right? Like Tempus AI as the name implies. Then what I'm also looking for is for these leading stocks to be in the context of uptrend. We can see that with Tempus AI, and generally speaking, finding support around key daily moving averages. So the black line on my chart is the 10-day EMA, the blue line is the 21-day EMA. So we can see with Tempus AI, general kind of uptrend and finding supportive action around its 10-day EMA and or 21-day EMA. And you can actually see this black horizontal line coming through there. That is the 10-day EMA price level from the daily chart plotted on the 5-minute chart. Very useful. If you want that indicator, search daily MAs on intraday charts on TradingView or search my name and you will be able to find it. Okay, now Tempus AI does something here that's very, very interesting for the opening 5 minutes. So the way that I have my trading setup is I have 4 monitors and I'm watching live about 80 stocks in real time. Okay, now they are leading stocks, they're momentum leaders, they're the TML type leader stocks. Now Tempus AI is high on my radar, pardon, because of this 20-day ADR percentage as well, 7.95%. That means the average daily range percentage of Tempus AI over the last 20 days from low of the day to the high of the day, excluding gaps, is 7.95%. Now why is that important? Well, because the triple Qs, you can see the 20-day ADR percentage is 0.99%. So just keep in your head that the average for the Qs and the SPYs is around about 1%. So personally, I like trading stocks a lot quicker than the major indexes. Okay, so Tempus AI is many multiples quicker than the major indexes. Okay, you got an ADR of 1% versus an ADR of nearly 8%. Okay, so it's reasonable to think that Tempus AI could move 8% this day. Whereas the triple Qs, it's more reasonable to assume it could move about 1%, because that's what the 20-day average daily range percentage is. Now, it's also very useful, this 20-day average daily range percentage, to gauge initial risk against. Okay, so when I'm targeting this 5-minute RB, don't worry, we'll get on to the 5-minute RB, okay? When I'm targeting the 5-minute RB and my initial stop loss is low of the day, I'm going to keep the figures round, but my initial stop loss is about 2.5%. Okay, it's just over. So my initial stop loss is 2.5% relative to a 20-day ADR percentage of nearly 8%. That's around about a third if we're just using some round numbers. So with the better 5-minute RRBs, what I find is the initial stop loss is around about, it can sometimes be a quarter, but invariably a third to a half. Okay, now why is that important? Well, because we think about this 20-day ADR percentage as fuel within the proverbial fuel tank. Okay, so the average, and why am I then blabbering on about this? You may be like, this stuff is going over my, what on earth are you on about? This is the details, this is the level, okay? These are the nuances, the details to be aware about if you want to try and take your trading to the next level, okay? Because if we think about this 20-day ADR percentage as the fuel within the proverbial fuel tank, so the fuel tank size is the 20-day ADR percentage, okay? So the fuel tank, okay, if you think about this here, well, I was going to use kind of miles, but it doesn't really make much sense with miles, does it? Just think about this here, okay? Once the stock has moved 7.95%, that's the fuel within the fuel tank gone. For the triple Qs, once the triple Qs has moved 0.99%, that's likely the fuel tank from the fuel tank gone. It may be able to go 1.5 times that. Maybe even if you get a real momentum leader like Tempest AR, as we'll go through, it can go 2 times that. But it's really useful to then think about your initial risk relative to the 20-day ADR percentage and really relative to how big is this fuel tank, how far may this stock go. I just find it's a real useful point just to be gauging how far may the stock go, how much initial risk am I taking relative to how far may the stock move today. Okay, now Tempest AI is actually able to power up and go up over 2 times its 20-day ADR percentage, or circa 2 times, okay, tops out there at about 14.5%. Okay, nearly 2 times the 20-day ADR percentage. Now, what you tend to find, so this is then where we really go into the kind of nuances and the characteristics, okay? Because ideally, you want to be in the right stocks at the right time with the right trade management. If you're watching this video, and I don't know if you made it this far in and you've listened to me blabber on, what you're really trying to do is right stocks, right time, right trade management. No matter your strategy. If you're a value investor, if you're more of a momentum-based trader like me, right stocks, right time, right management. Right stocks, right time, right management. So if on a day-to-day basis and you're more actively trading like I am, it's really about trying to get, guess what? Right stocks, right time, right management. So Tempest AI, this is where we start going into some of the nuances, okay? Because when these leading stocks, momentum leaders, TML type stocks, when they have a big move, what you tend to see is they display very similar characteristics. The tickers change, but the action stays the same. That rhymes, doesn't it? The tickers change, but the action stays the same in terms of how they move. So what do we see with Tempest AI in the first 5 minutes? Well, in the first 5 minutes, and again, this is in real time, okay? My entry is right here. 81.65, showed you at the start of the video. 81.65, my entry is there, as it takes out the high of this opening 5-minute candlestick. But the opening 5-minute candlestick is picture perfect, it's textbook, okay? Why? Well, one, it opens on the low of the day, the low of that 5-minute bar, and immediately pushes up, strong bar. Visually, this is exactly what I like to see. Opens on the low of that 5-minute candlestick and pushes and goes. What does this tell you? It tells you that there is significant demand as soon as the market opens for this stock. Algos in there, traders in there, market operators in there. We're in there. Okay, the people that know what they're doing and the algos that know what they're doing, they're in there. I can see it. That's what it does. Opens on the low, push, go, strong close. Now, not only is Tempest AI doing that, look at what it's doing relative. So this is where we do the comparison and we think about intraday relative strength. The triple Qs forms this doji bar, would we say? Like a bullish-ish doji, right? It's kind of okay, but look what Tempest AI is doing. Now, where you really see the strength with Tempest AI, and again, what we're trying to do here is we're really trying to go right stocks, right timing, right management. So right stock, okay, we're looking at the right stocks, we're looking at the leaders. But now we've got to get the timing right. Okay, now this is the point on the timing. Knowing your setups. I really like opening range breakouts and what I call Morellos, intraday mean reversion longs. They have been my 2 most popular setups I've been trading on, most frequent setups in 2025. Okay, market's been a little bit more choppy, so I absolutely love them. That's mainly what I'm trading on a day-to-day basis. But what we see here, second 5-minute candlestick in. Here it is, okay? Look, Tempest AI starts breaking out through the high of the day. You see that? I'm going to put a blue arrow to it, the 9:35 Eastern Time candlestick. Now, again, it's relative. Relative strength is perhaps the most important trading concept there is. Not frequently discussed, but it's probably the most important concept in trading, I think. Maybe just after risk management, okay? But look at this here. This is the 9:35 candlestick for the triple Qs. Think about this. Tempest AI is breaking out through the high of day. Now remember, this isn't fluke. I took this trade right here. I showed you. Okay? Tempest AI is breaking through the high of day, while the triple Qs has just done that, breaking down through the low of day. I'll say it again. Tempest AI breaking through high of day, triple Qs breaking down through low of day. Look at this bar for the Qs relative to this bar for Tempest AI. And again, the point that I'm trying to get across here, right stocks, right timing, right management. And I'm then just going to pull this up here. Because Tempest AI, so again, this is about studying the nuances. When Tempest AI goes up 14% in a session, okay, from its low of day to its high of day, about 14.6%. That's about 2 times its 20-day ADR percentage. What does it do? How does it act? What does it do relative to the triple Qs? How does it then move on the 5-minute chart? How could you optimize profits? Do you want to use the 5-minute 6 EMA as a trading stop? Do you want to use the 5-minute 21 EMA as a trading stop? When it starts hitting its 20-day ADR percentage and getting arguably short-term extended, do you want to go lower the bar, lower the bar, lower the bar, lower the bar as a trading stop? You see what I'm saying? You want to understand okay, when a stock goes on a big move that day, what does it do? And what you'll see is Tempus AI, when it goes on a big move, displays very similar characteristics visually and how it moves on the 5-minute chart as you would see with when PLTR goes on a big day, Robinhood goes on a big day, Nvidia goes on a big day, Oklo goes on a big day. Name any leading stock. This is what they do. This is the characteristics that they tend to exhibit. So then you can get your timing right. So then you're looking at the right stocks and you're getting the right timing on these stocks. And then from the trade management standpoint, you then got to determine, okay, am I in a market environment more suitable for swing positional trading? Do I want to try and sit, hold this for a big move, say ride the 10-day EMA as a trailing stop on the daily chart? Or actually, do you know what, this is just pop and drop, things that go in and then they pull back in on me and I get stopped out 2 days later. Well, the market and stocks are giving you feedback there, aren't they? It's okay, if you're in that more kind of choppy, hostile market environment, do you still want to try and be a swing trader? Now, you may want to use some more intraday tactics. Okay, so what I really like doing with 5-minute opening range breakouts is the 5-minute 6 EMA is my preferred intraday moving average for 5-minute ORBs. For what I call Morellos, it's the 5-minute 21 EMA as a trailing stop. Alternatively, when the stock starts getting really short-term extended and it's over its 20-day ADR percentage and literally goes kind of parabolic straight up, that's pretty much as straight line gets on a chart, guys. Okay, if this is 45 degrees, that's a lot. 80 degrees? 75 degrees? Lower the dot, low of the bar, lower the bar, lower the bar, lower the bar as a trailing stop. Because look at this. It's used 2 times its fuel tank at this point. Okay, 2 times its fuel tank. But what you could then determine is, well, do you know what? I've got it. I could free roll the trade. I talk about that in the blueprint courses on YouTube for free. And now what I'm going to do is try and sit and ride, say, the 10-day EMA. But what the 5-minute ORB can do is help you identify, well, hopefully you're already looking at the right stocks. Okay, that's key. Look at the right stocks. Talk about them on my platform all day long, basically. The leading stocks of the day. The names change. Okay, you've got to stay on top of it. They change. But then the right timing. So when I'm looking to get long into stocks, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this strength. Look at what Tempus AI does here relative to the triple Qs in that opening hour. From 10:30, the triple Qs basically chops around, goes down, goes up, goes down. Tempus AI does that. But Tempus AI was telling you about its strength, 1 in the first 5 minutes, 2 in the second 5-minute bar, when the triple Qs did that. The Tempus AI did not care about the triple Qs going down. Didn't care about the algos dragging this down. Just went, I don't care today. I'm so strong. I'm just going to do that. But when it does that, how do you nail that? How do you optimize profits there? So again, trading really centers around 4 main aspects. 1, identification. 2, controlling risk. 3, risk mitigation. 4, optimization of profits. Right stocks, right time, right management. So hopefully that video there for you is useful in terms of learning more about the 5-minute opening range breakout. There's various videos on the YouTube channel for free in terms of learning about the 5-minute RB. If you like this stuff and you really like going down into the weeds and you may enjoy some of the things that I have to offer on my platform. But thank you very much for watching. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in a future video.